Universal Studios Hollywood. Take a Look presents a Horror Nights Takeover! Julia Garner unleashes the beast in the Wolfman.
You're scaring me.
Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga confront their final haunting in The Conjuring Last Rites.
There's an evil here. Something I've felt before.
Megan is still the doll of our nightmares.
Turn off. You should probably run.
James McAvoy dares us to speak no evil. Blumhouse raises new demons in The Exorcist Believer.
Stop, it's hurting!
Game on with Five Nights at Freddy's.
They want to make her like them.
And Jordan Peele reminds us why Get Out changed the face of modern horror forever.
Get out. Sorry, man.
Get out! From monsters to mind games, from haunted houses to possessed dolls, horror never sleeps. It's a modern movie, Horror Nights Takeover, celebrating the screams that define a new century of horror. Let's take a look! Yes, this is the Horror Nights Takeover of Take a Look from Universal Studios Hollywood, celebrating some of this century's favorite horror movies. Before we can do that, because we are at Universal Studios Hollywood, the big trifecta, if you think about it, Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Wolfman. Would you stop mocking me, for the love of... Anyway, the trifecta started here. Speaking of Wolfman, Julia Garner, sure, she crushed hidden weapons, but long before she battled crazed, red-headed, bang sociopath, psycho killers, she was just trying to take care of her husband, who was becoming a werewolf. And Wolfman, and we talked about it. Take a look.
I think my husband was infected.
Nice to see you.
Hi, good to see you.
You look
yes.
infinitely better than you did the last time I saw you, which was in this.
Oh my God.
Under a little duress.
I was like, wait, did I meet you before and did I look like insane?
No, it's not like I saw you at the restaurant last night. No, in this.
Like, was I crying somewhere? But I was crying in this. Okay, good.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
So many people that have made horror movies say there's nothing horrific when you're in the middle of it. It just seems kind of awkward. With that said, a lot of this looks creepy and dark. Was it scary?
It was scary and it was really hard. I mean, it was a good shoot, but it wasn't an easy shoot. It wasn't like, you know, like, oh yeah, this is like a carefree kind of headspace. I mean, you know, it was very tense, very heavy. I was crying and hyperventilating pretty much for like 3 months, straight, and running. Yeah, but it was, you know, hopefully it's worth it, so.
It's amazing. It's an instant classic. I love so much about it. I could talk to you for like 10 hours about this, dissecting it. So long before we get to the big over-the-top horror, there's great action in this. You're suspended in this automobile accident in the van. Talk about the rigging of that.
That was crazy. We like, you know, when I saw it first before getting into the car, it was like wild, but we did have a rehearsal. So we kind of did like a rigging, you know, rehearsal on it, and we were sideways. And I actually had fun doing that. That's kind of fun because I don't get to do that every day.
It's like a jungle gym.
It is like a jungle gym. I had more fun doing that than like running.
Do you have a favorite scene, without plot spoiling, that 10, 20 movies from now you're gonna look back and go, that was a scene, I love doing that on the day?
That's so hard to pick because a lot of the times I don't remember what I do, or I try not to remember.
Sure.
Because that means that if I remember every little moment, I wasn't like in the moment within the scene. So it's hard for me to pick. But I have like some parts that I connect to more than others, for sure.
Awesome.
Julia Garner since Ozark, crushing it in every single thing she puts her mind to. Stop mocking me. All right, coming up next on our Horror Nights Takeover, we'll go behind the scenes of The Conjuring, The Last Rites, the final of the Conjuring universe movies. Along with that, Megan and its sequel, and the behind-the-scenes maze you can attempt right here at Horror Nights. We will be right back. Welcome back to Take a Look at our Horror Nights Nights Takeover from Universal Studios Hollywood, talking about this century's great horror movies. Sad end of an era for The Conjuring. I love all of the Conjuring movies. My favorite is Conjuring 2. However, Conjuring Last Rites still crushing it right now. A nice end cap. The real-life Warrens had a chance to meet them way back in the day and then subsequently catch up with Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, who bring them to life. I caught up with them to talk about their real-life ghost stories. Look.
Honor to see you.
Honor to see you.
Good to see you. Although, and you probably get this a lot, but I talked to Linda Blair one time about this, and she said, people love me, and they're also kind of creeped out when they see me coming.
Right.
Do you get that now?
Right. Luckily, we're not possessed.
No, yeah. No, I don't get that.
I don't get, yeah.
People are eager to share their haunting stories.
People tell me they're scared of you, but they're not so much of me.
Look, I'm talking about The Conjuring here. Stop distracting the camera. All right, Vera and Patrick, amazing in that. I can't imagine anybody bringing the hearts of the Warren to life the way that they did, with the exception of the younger versions of them. Orion and Madison crushed it in Last Rite. They decided rather than using CG to make the Warrens the way they appeared in the 1950s, they would just cast younger, pretty much chromosomal duplicates of Vera and Patrick. And they did. I caught up with them on the red carpet moments ago. Take a look.
You know, being a fan of the Conjuring franchise and like following Patrick Wilson's career and, you know, loving Vera so much, being in the same movie as them is just incredible. And being able to work with them on the role and then see how their influence has created their versions of Ed and Lorraine as well is just so incredible to watch.
Is there anything more monumental than stepping into what is the final piece of the franchise, knowing that you're an indelible part of this?
I mean, I don't think so. It feels really special. It feels really special.
Yeah. It's totally the cherry on top. To be in like this incredible finale of the entire franchise is just such a blessing. It's so cool.
It is.
All right.
Yeah.
Any haunts for either of you in real life? Does it speak to you?
Oh gosh, we had a little bit of a haunt on set, which you can tell
true.
about.
Yeah, well, we were shooting this one day, and like there's this dead silence. There's a door on set opens by itself, which was like
Our first day of filming. We're like, oh gosh, we're here.
Yeah. It was just like, okay, this is a scary movie set, and something scary happened. Everyone on set was like, okay, that was a weird way to start.
Madison and Orion, the younger voices of the Warrens in The Conjuring Last Rites. James Wan directed the first Conjuring, continued to produce all of them, and of course produced Megan. So we got to talk about that. Megan and Megan 2.0, crushing it this century in horror. You know, Megan, albeit creepy, the voice of her, played by Jenna Davis, not so creepy at all. Super nice person. We caught up on the red carpet. Take a look.
I have to just start talking like her, and it's very freaky and terrifying.
And do you have a favorite line? And also, do people also? You saw the look on my face when you go into the very dialed-in Megan voice. People get a certain look. Do you ever do it intentionally to get that feel, that vibe?
Oh, absolutely. My favorite thing is to prank people. I also have a life-size Megan doll at home, and my favorite thing is to like stick it into my friends and just my family's rooms at night and just turn on the light and be like, hello. Like, it's really, really fun. She's actually, I think, around 4 feet tall. She's very life-size.
Oh my God, you are set for a lifetime of antics.
Oh, I know. I'm like, I could literally prank my kids, my grandkids from years from now, and I will always be terrifying.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
I'll have the best haunted house in the neighborhood.
Awesome. Congrats on everything. Can't wait to see the next one. See you.
guys.
Such a nice person. You'd never guess she's the creepy voice of Megan and Megan 2.0. Allison Williams carries both movies together, loves talking about hanging out with the doll itself. We talk. Nice to see you.
It's so good to see you.
You survived this.
I know, I did. I made it through yet another.
This movie hooks the first nanosecond of the trailer. What is it about animate objects like this, whether it's a dummy, a ventriloquist doll, a doll, or this?
I think because when you're in a certain mindset and you're in a certain mood and you're just like in a room and looking at stuff, the idea of something that you think is not moving and has no intelligence of its own or, you know, no persona, just starting to talk or move on its own is like just about the most terrifying idea ever.
Was there ever a time you and she
How
does she identify?
She feels very female.
Right. Were you in the room with her?
Many times. Oh, so many times. There were a lot of moments where we were really close to each other, and I would just look at her face, and they'd be setting up something, and she definitely wasn't being like animated. But I would just be looking at her thinking, like, she's about to, like, blink or ask to go pee or just be like, I need a cigarette or, you know, whatever. It just felt like she was so alive.
People always ask me, are you afraid of AI? And clowns? back to AI. They say, are you afraid of AI? And I say, yeah. Have you seen Megan? Megan 2.0. All right, coming up in a moment as we continue our horror takeover from Universal Studios Hollywood, a movie you may not have heard about.
Speak no evil. James McAvoy will next.
Hey, welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood and our Horror Nights takeover of Take a Look. It's probably not a good idea to hang out anywhere where it specifically says Chainsaw Clowns. All right, I want to talk about a movie you probably haven't heard of, Speak No Evil. Maybe you know it. If not, you're about to love it. The movie stars James McAvoy. It's among his best horror performances. Certainly not his only, but he crushed it. We talked.
Nice to see you.
You too, you too.
With that said, a little creeped out too.
Good. I'm glad
That's
to
how
hear
effective this is.
I'm glad to hear it.
I remember the first time you played someone unhinged, but there's unhinged, and then there's this guy. And what's really creepy about him, when you first meet him, you kind of think, man, I'd love to have an icebreaker like that by my side all the time. Until.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think if I met Paddy, I'd probably last about 5 minutes before walking the other direction. But yeah, I think somebody like Ben, he's hurting, he's struggling in life, he doesn't really have the answers. And then in walks my character. And as much as he is unhinged and dangerous and all these things, he seems to have one of the secrets of life figured out, which is how to be happy. He is a dangerous person, but he's pretty happy, actually. And that's really attractive quality, I think, in someone.
It's attractive, and at the same time, a little disconcerting that he can be, you know, I occasionally life calls for you to chop a kid's tongue off. But, you know, whatever it takes.
It's an outdated form of parenting. It doesn't work for the modern world.
No.
But you know, different cultures, you've got to respect it.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's a strong choice. It's a strong move as a parent.
They, you know, the elderly actors last century would always say, never work with kids, never work with animals. In this one, my gosh, these kids elevated every scene.
They're great. They're brilliant. And that was Dan, who plays Ant. That's his first gig.
Wow.
And he was amazing, not able to speak in the movie, and he still conveys so much. And that end shot on him at the end of the movie, after he gets some closure or gets some retribution even, it's really quite moving. And a lot of the people that I know who have watched it have been quite shaken by the end of the film, I think because of Dan.
Yeah,
it's so good.
There's something so heartbreaking, and at the end of it, like as an audience, you just kind of,
yeah.
And then they cut to that shot of him essentially doing the same and starting to process.
By the end of the film, it's like a tautly pulled bow the whole way, and it's shaking, you know. So by the time the film ends, I do think people feel quite like, oh my God, I've been through something.
And you know, a lot of that goes into both your performance and how it's cut, and then the score that marries to that, the composition of all of these things. But with that said, on the day, what was the most fun you had making?
Probably the most fun, what was the most fun? All the kind of dinner scenes, probably the scene where we're sitting in the dinner at their little private place, and we're telling them that me and my wife Kira, we enjoy swinging, and like and then we have this whole scene where we simulate and we pretend to have sexual contact and all that, and they're just like, it goes on just way too long, you know, and it's just, the ick factor of that was really fun to play with.
Speak No Evil is awesome. If you haven't heard of it, you've heard of it now, and you're welcome. It's brought to the screens big and large by Jason Blum, who does awesome work. I love what he did for the Halloween franchise. He did the same thing for the Exorcist franchise. I got him with David Gordon Green, the director, and Jason to talk about that.
Look, if I was casting a movie for you, the person for ABC television, I would cast you. I mean, it's amazing. You look terrific.
Sign me up. It's really just a mess. Nice to see you guys.
You too.
As a horror movie filmmaker and fan, it's like I bow to the master.
Oh,
here you go, you guys. It is amazing. For you, having grown up, you know, adoring horror movies, the first movie, the genesis of this, pretty much shaped our lives. Messed me up in all the right ways. How about you?
Oh, for sure. I mean, actually, the first scary movie I saw was Friday the 13th. I saw Exorcist not long thereafter, and it definitely put me on a road. Obviously, it put me on a dark road, which I have yet to escape from.
Even still, is it a little daunting knowing that you're tackling something so precious?
Daunting could be the right word, because a title like The Exorcist triggers so much for so many people. It's an iconic, the original film is iconic. It's really inspiring to think that we could all be affected by this movie that happened 50 years ago and be here with the opportunity to continue that story. The daunting element of it fades really quickly when you get this group of people together and say, now what do we do? And you just get to the kitchen and start cooking.
Exorcist Believer, I love it because it takes the classic, holds on to everything that is pure about it, and breathes it into this century. All right, when we come back, I'm going to change my underwear, and we're going to talk to Jordan Peele, breaking barriers and breaking scream records with every one of his movies. It all started with Get Out. We'll go behind the scenes. Along with that, the woman who brings you Five Nights at Freddy's, the movie, and its sequels, and the theme park attraction. That and more as our Take a Look Universal Studios Hollywood Horror Nights Takeover continues. We will be back. Hey, welcome back to our Horror Nights Takeover from Universal Studios Hollywood. Yes, Five Nights at Freddy's, the live action maze ready to haunt you. It's awesome. It's our last stop on the tour. They're wanting us to get out. Hey, speaking of get out, segue helper, Jordan Peele broke all kinds of box office records, broke all kinds of barriers with Get Out. I talked to him about that and his cat allergy. Look.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, man.
We have some history we should probably talk about.
All right.
So when I interviewed you for the movie Keanu, I thought it would be great to do it in a cat sanctuary.
Yes.
And I was holding a cat, and the moment I started speaking, the cat splattered on the ground and ran off.
That's right.
Do you remember
That's
that?
right. I do remember that.
Have you forgiven me?
I've forgiven you. You know, whoever set that up didn't really double check whether or not I was allergic to cats.
Yeah, how'd that work out?
You know, it was okay. When I had Keanu in my hands, it was fine. It's just one. I could put him down. In the cat sanctuary, I almost died.
What about signing up to do a film about a cat?
Yeah, that was and writing one. You'd think I would have thought that through.
Right.
But it just goes just like this movie. You know, writing a movie, you don't think like, I'm such a fan. You don't think someone's actually going to make your movie.
Right.
So you just write something with the passion. You write something with your favorite movie that you've never seen, and hopefully, you know, somebody picks it up. And you know, with Get Out, it was definitely a movie I didn't think anyone was ever going to make. And
I was going to ask, with that said, are you allergic to scary movies, or are you a huge fan of this product?
I am, you know, when I was a kid, I was as terrified of scary movies as anyone could be. I was very scared of the dark till like 12, just a complete coward. At some point, a switch flip, and I was like, you know, anything that can affect me that much is art. Is masterful. And so from that point on, I've respected horror as an art form. And you know, there's a handful of really great additions to horror a year, and so I wanted to take a stab.
Certainly not his last horror movie, but to this day, one of the scariest. And let us, of course, talk about Nope, or Us, or the list continues to grow even now. All right, so Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm about to go in there and take a look at this. No doubt one of the most popular mazes at this Horror Nights, Universal Studios Hollywood. A 2-hour wait, 20 minutes if you're express, and well worth it. Back to the movie that broke all kinds of grounds. Not only was it truly scary, truly delivering on everything people wanted for the video game, but it broke grounds in other ways. Hollywood has largely had men directing horror movies.
Not anymore. Caught up with Emma Tammy to talk about it. Take a look.
Hello?
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
This movie is awesome.
Oh, thank you.
I'm a huge fan. Like, I was an early adapter to the game in 2014. I've been playing it ever since, and couldn't wait to see how this movie was going to be.
Oh, that's so exciting.
I'm constantly championing the game to people that aren't even gamers. So for you as a director, how do you make sure that those people that know nothing of Freddy's come aboard?
For an audience that knows nothing about it, I think a lot of people are still familiar with a family-themed type restaurant with animatronics that a lot of people frequented as kids or brought their kids to, and
which need not be named.
Which need not be named, but it does hold some nostalgia in all of our hearts and minds, and definitely some fear as well, for me anyway.
Sure. Another thing I loved about this movie, there are 6 billion different types and subgenres of horror, right?
Yeah.
But this is like just straight down the middle. Fun. You walk away like loving it, like instantly on the drive home recalling scenes that you loved in this movie.
Yes.
That hit fun,
Oh,
rather
this
than
is
having
so
to go to
exciting.
counseling afterwards.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah. We we thought that blend as the franchise does. There's darkness, but there's levity. It's for kids. It's for adults. We really wanted to have it be a genre mashup and hit all of those tonal notes.
How do you make the perfect pop-out scare? And not that this movie is all about that, but it has to have those certain elements. So what do you look to?
Has to have the jumps. So much of it is about, creating that silence and then at the right moment triggering the audio to really bring you out of your seats.
And that's me screaming like a baby inside the maze at Horror Nights. The Five Nights at Freddy's attraction delivers largely because everything looks legit, like it's straight out of the movie, because it is legit and straight out of the movie. Look at the time. That does it for this edition of Take a Look and our takeover. Thank you so much for watching. I gotta ask you, please like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. I'd be remiss if I didn't say, hey, thank you very much to the people watching all over the world in 177 different countries and territories worldwide on AFN. We thank you very much. Be safe, happy haunting, enjoy some scary movies, be good to each other, and try not to get killed. I just want to get out of here before the credits end up rolling. Son of a- We're going to be okay. We're all right. Everything's okay. We're going to be okay. I don't think we're going to be okay. We're not okay. I'm certainly not okay. No.